Starr Cullars from Living Galaxy. Let your star shine. Brand new music from Starr Cullars. So, how you doing, Starr? You're in the New York City area, and welcome back to the area.
Hey, Joe. How you guys doing? Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Definitely glad to be back in the New York area, which is, of course, home for me. Philadelphia, raised here in New York. So, absolutely excellent to be back and back in touch with one of my most favorite artistic, intelligent DJs there is, Mr. Joe Kelley.
Hey, you're too kind. So, the first time speaking in New York that I saw you play live and met you was at the old knitting factory in Lower Manhattan, opening up for Bernie Worrell. And, amazing show that you put on, and, the music, the looks, and, how about New York City and the life, that it gives to your music?
Well, I definitely, Joe, it's interesting that you even put it that way, because I clearly remember that knitting factory show opening for Bernie when we first met. That was something in those early times. But New York is the first city where my band, the Starr Cullars band, Starr Cullars Enterprise, first, was birthed and did our first shows. So it's definitely, in addition to how the pulse and the culture and the lifeblood of the energy of the city has been ingrained in me, growing up. Being from Philadelphia, having grandparents who lived here, always, going between the two, it's definitely shaped completely the type of musician I am, and the exterior hardness or the polish, or both.
Right,
right. For certain.
Now you grew up in Philadelphia. I went to Temple University, 85, 87, living in Center City. Where did you grow up in Philly? And tell us about getting into music when you were growing up.
Wow, you went to Temple?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Joe, you're a Temple out. That's awesome.
So
I grew up in an area outside of West Philadelphia called Winfield Overbrook. As a matter of fact, Will Smith and I grew up around the corner from each other in the same row house neighborhood, because I went to school with his older sister, who drove the car from the suburbs where we went to school.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so we actually grew up in this same row house area in Philly. So I've always been around. I always had big brother friends and cats who were around me who were these great musicians. And since I started playing as a acoustic guitar and cello as a child, and graduated myself to bass in the teenage years, I was lucky enough to have, Philly had all these incredible musicians and bass players, and so it was a whole harvest, field of influence and people who, all you had to do was just be there and kind of, feed into the scene. So I was lucky that way. And, when I started playing in my first band was one of those little neighborhood bands that we had when we were still living in the row houses in Winfield, and, just kind of graduated up from there. You got in progressively the better bands, and finally I had people coming up to me at the different shows I was doing saying, Starr, you really, you're another level. You belong with these professionals. You belong over here with these people. So I had a couple of friends of mine who were coming to my local shows, and Philly introduced me to George Clinton and the Parliament-Funkadelic. And this was after, I know you remember, when I went to Prince first.
Right.
While I was still in I know you know that whole story, when I went to Prince when I was in college. So this is like, a year and a half or two after that. So when I was hired by George and his head manager, Archie Ivy, then I was put into that professional level. So all the prep work and, the groundwork that I got to do growing up definitely all aided and paved the way for, what's going on now.
Now, Starr Cullars is with us, and her brand new CD, Living Galaxy. soon to be available. What's the best places people are going to be able to get your music, buy it, or download it? I download it, of course, pay for it, but MP3 tracks or hard CD.
Definitely iTunes and CD Baby and Amazon and iTunes and all of those mediums for sure. And of course, at whatever live shows are going on, they can always get CDs there too.
And they can also hit up your Facebook page and MySpace pages as well.
Absolutely, and Twitter too. I'm on there too.
Oh, okay. So you got it all covered, and you mentioned your days with the Funk Mob, with P-Funk, and we were hanging out with the guys about 2 weeks ago in New Haven at Toad's Place where they performed.
Oh, it's Toad's, right?
yeah, we saw Lige and K-Starr Scheider, and the band sounded real nice. I had a question because, I mean, you playing with those guys and so many people on stage, and do you go into the night knowing kind of a framework of when you're going to be on stage, or does it just happen? Or
Well, Joe, when I was doing my years in the university, there were two main bass players. Lige, as you know, was the main and still is one of them, and Jeff Cherokee Bunn was the other bass player. So when I came in, I became the third, which meant, things go in that kind of order. It's kind of like, okay, the seniority of the first, second, and third string people, but it's really more, in P-Funk, is really more what songs were given to you by Gary, and Blackbird, and, maybe George, too. You know what I mean? So I had the Funkadelic section that did, Music for Your Mother, Free Your Mind, Red Hot Mama, I did a section that covered those songs. Cherokee did a section that did, like, One Nation and Atomic Dog and some of that other stuff, Why Should I Dog You Out? And then Lige did, like, all the other, I call them the platinum heyday hits, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
It looks crazy, but there's a slight organization to the chaos, especially as far as the main instrumentalists being switched in and out, drummers, bass players, whatever guitarist, or what you always see of the line of guitarists up there. So that's kind of the method to the madness.
Yeah, and of course, great friend of ours, Gary Scheider, and passed away recently and deeply missed with the group. I noticed on stage, George seemed more involved with Q and the band and stuff in this last show. I don't know if you've caught them lately, but...
Yeah, I just was with them out in California, and anytime I come back, it's like coming back to a family reunion, so I'm always requested to make an appearance, and you're right, he is doing that more, and, a lot of that... just has to do with him trying to find his place, really. George misses Gary more than anyone could ever possibly imagine and know, as do the rest of the main band cats. I'm one of them. As a little sister of his, I helped his wife and the family when we had to do the funeral services and everything. And, it's really George just trying to feel some sense of comfort or stability,
Right.
But you, like a few other people who would be observant to the ways of the group, would notice that. So,
Right. Yeah, they actually sounded really nice, so it was nice to see them. And our special guest right now, Starr Cullars, she's got brand new music. We got to get into some more of it, Starr.
absolutely.
We got Revolution ready to fly. Tell us about recording Revolution, and who are some of the cats on this particular track?
Revolution, yes. Revolution, one of my new songs from the Living Galaxy album, which is me just stepping further into giving the kind of messages that I like to give that I think are important, and, political activism is a strong one, so That's definitely the basis for Revolution. And on the recording, it's myself on all the bass guitars, all the vocals. Lige Curry is on the lead and rhythm guitars. And Cataway Kiss, a drummer from Holland, who was visiting and doing some work with Lige, is playing the drums on there.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
You got a great trio going there. And
yeah, you know, I work the power trio thing, but I'm adding a second guitar, so I'm expanding my power trio to a quartet.
Wow, it's gonna be sounding loud and nice, I'm sure.
That's right, absolutely.
All right, Starr Cullars is with us here at WVOF and the Upper Room with Joe Kelley and Gita. So we will be back after listening to this Revolution from the great new record from Starr Cullars, Living Galaxy, right here on WVOF. See, a great song called Revolution. Our special guest, she's been on the show before, always a great person, one of the VIPs here to the Upper Room, Starr Cullars. And you're still making your home out in Los Angeles these days?
You know what? I am to a certain degree. I'm actually about to make a move and make the East Coast my base again, and then just kind of pivot and satellite out there. So I'll be kind of switching the mode of operation.
That's great. You know, great to see you back in this area on the regular.
Love it, for sure. So glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Now you had alluded to previously talking about your affiliation and almost being in Prince's band and jamming with Prince in the studio. And I was thinking back to Philadelphia days when you probably know the name of the place on Broad Street. It's like a classical music venue. It was downtown. I forget the
music.
What? Yeah, exactly. And we were standing in line. The funniest thing was we were standing in line waiting to go see Prince at the Academy of Music a few years back. Prince is running across Broad Street in high heels, like right across from the hotel into the venue, and everybody's looking at each other. Was that Prince's run? I mean, he was sprinting. So you probably, I mean, you've seen some of the craziness like that in the studio, and maybe to refresh some of our listenership who missed out last time, but you were nearly playing bass in Prince's band back in the 90s, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was finishing up college. I was in college at Pittsburgh at Duquesne University, and I got fed up with sending my demos and getting back those little rejection letters, and took a crazy long driving trip to Minnesota, where I was offered to stay with Prince and become part of his touring entourage. Now, this did not necessarily mean to replace Levi Seacer at all, but to become an added featured person. And ironically enough, I knew how Mr. Nelson was and is with ladies, and I knew that I was going to probably have to, you know, partake in things that I might not, as a young girl, want to partake in. So I politely went back to Philadelphia, and when he saw me about 2 years later, I was already hired by George Clinton and Parliament-Funkadelic, and then he started a whole nother pursuit with me through George. So our history is long and funny and endearing and, you know, just priceless.
More chapters to be written, right?
There's definitely other chapters to be written, for sure. You know, definitely being at the phase where I am now with my group and, you know, what we're doing, it would definitely be a next phase of a chapter for our colorful and crazy time with each other. So, you know, it's definitely a special thing.
Now, the CD Living Galaxy from Starr Cullars is going to be available for people in a few weeks?
Absolutely. This should be available to people in about 3 weeks' time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So iTunes, CD Baby, all the other spots they can purchase the MP3s or get the hard CD.
They can absolutely always through Facebook as well as my MySpace page, and I am on Twitter. And that, of course, would be Starr Cullars /artist, something like that. They can find it.
Just type it in the search and it comes right up.
Right.
Now we should mention some of the videos are really cool that you have on your pages and show you guys playing live. And man, you could definitely see, the excitement and musicianship that you and your band put out on stage.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. That means everything to me. The live performance is life. It is the energy, the source of everything, and I live to play live. I live to perform, and we love doing it. So that's awesome that you can see that or pick that up from the videos, because that's the feeling for sure.
Now, bass-wise, what are you using primarily for your recording and live?
The bass I used primarily for this new album was my 5-string Yamaha bass. It's a Nathan East specialty bass. It's one of these extremely high-end specialty basses that Yamaha gave me through an endorsement. So I use that a lot on the album, and it actually is just an incredible instrument. I use it live too, but I'm also playing an ESP 5-string as well, and I never get rid of my Fender Precision. That's always in the wings.
Ready to go, yeah.
That's right.
Now this may sound like a stupid question, but to sing lead vocals is playing bass one of the tougher instruments to combine lead singing and playing the bass is
yes,
more so than others?
It's definitely a challenging and a difficult thing to lead sing and play bass, for sure. Yes, it is. I think you just have to, if you know that you have the aptitude to be able to keep the rhythm of the bass going, and then you have to split your brain and let your hands be the rhythm and know it. They really have to know it, and then just separate your mind to the melody of the song and the lead voice. So it is pretty challenging. I've learned how to do it, and just you keep working on it, you keep mastering, and throughout the years. But it's I love doing it, and I realize that it is something a little difficult.
Right. So Starr Cullars is with us. If you just tuned in here at WVOF in the Upper Room with Joe Kelley, we've got to get into another track, Diabolical Done. Now, very interesting title and lyrics and everything, and let's talk about Diabolical Done.
Okay, Diabolical Done, again, is another strong political activist message song. Again, me venting my views and political observations and what things I would like to see, things I would like our governments to, do things that I think that should be done for the people. So that's kind of the gist of that song. And it's the same personnel on Revolution. Myself, Lige Curry, and Cotaway Kiss on drums are the personnel doing all the instruments, and I'm doing all the vocals.
All right, here it is. Starr Cullars from Living Galaxy, Diabolical Done. We'll come back and speak one more final time with Starr Cullars right here on WVOF.
We don't want that pharmaceutical drug bullshit.
A great CD, and we're happy to bring all that new music from her, Diabolical Done.
Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah, you've got to be excited. Brand new record and springtime coming around, and you're probably going to be looking to play in different spots to promote the record. And how about some of the live music scenes? I mean, New York and L.A., you're out in the major music and competitive scene. What's it like, the current
Well, it's interesting. In Los Angeles, the climate there is the club owners don't even have the even the respect that the East Coast owners have. And I know all of us here think, we played the Chitlin Circuit, Red Club, we've been dogged. But in L.A., they really have another thing. They almost make the bands pay to play, and they really kind of pimp them out. It's not fair. No. And I have some friends who, are in the scene, and the best thing to do if you're there is to get into touring, so you're not trapped just to Los Angeles, County, and you can, get out there and do your thing. Because there's one thing, Joe, I've found, that there are always people, anywhere you go in the country, outside the country, who love live, great music. Mm-hmm. And, they will go see you. They will go to it, when it's out there. So that is a factor that, is very encouraging, especially for anyone rising up from Southern California, Los Angeles, to know that they don't have to stay trapped to that, even if you start in it. So that's good.
Now, you went to college at Duquesne University, and I believe you majored in media studies, right?
I did. I majored in theater, broadcast communication, media, and minored in music and French, which I know was weird.
You could talk to my wife. She's from Montreal.
You minored in French. I just had it all my life since first grade, from all through first through 12th grade. Mm-hmm. So when I got to college, it was like a second language. I was like, well, this would be easy. Right, it was for me. So I tutored, made a little extra cash, tutoring French and stuff. So it became useful when you need to go to parties and go shopping and, cool, important things in school.
Right. Where did you buy your Prince records in Philadelphia?
Ooh, well, Philadelphia had this place called 3rd Street Jazz.
Oh, okay.
You probably have gone there when you were there.
I remember there was Sound. What was it? Sound of Market?
Oh, the Sound of Market Street, honey. The Sound of Market Street always had all the Prince albums, all the B-sides, all the releases, and there was a little coven of us. We used to get together and, trade and, exchange with each other. So definitely the Sound of Market Street, man, and 3rd Street Jazz.
Where was 3rd Street Jazz?
That was on 3rd and Market. I think that was 3rd and Market, man, right down the street from Independence Hall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So you went to high school, actually, wasn't it near where Will Chamberlain went to school?
Yeah, exactly. I went to a private Catholic school, so I was there from 3rd grade to 12th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? You're wearing a uniform, But I lived in Winfield, and Overbrook High School was right, just a couple blocks away. So that's where he went, and there's a few other luminaries that went to that Overbrook High School in Philadelphia.
Now, your music just blends so perfectly funk and rock and different sounds like that. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, how about growing up listening as a kid, and some of you're listening to other artists these days just to get you motivated, and what's that like?
You know what? I was lucky to grow up during the time that I did, because there was so much incredible music that was just out there on the broadcast radio, and there were all those record stores, and Soul Train was on, American Bandstand, and the Midnight Special, and the DJs that were on, like you said, that not only could they bring their own records, but they were playing these amazing things. And my father made sure to have this strong mixture. I grew up on Santana, Sly and the Family Stone, Jimi Hendrix, Miles Davis, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Marvin Gaye, and just this plethora of incredible music, plus the Rolling Stones, and I think my father even had a Bob Dylan record. So I got my great exposure early, and then I just dove into certain things from there.
Yeah, what a great upbringing, and You could hear it all over your music, and the brand new record's called Living Galaxy, which is going to be available to our listeners very, very shortly. If you just missed out the beginning of the interview, we'll be re-airing this interview in its entirety for 4 days and 4 nights at upperroomwithjoekelly.com. Sign up for our mailing list, and we'll let you know the exact air dates. And the great new record. You're working with Lige, and Lige look really great on stage.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely continuing on. He's involved in a number of projects, which are all good. One of them is a group, Naked Funk, which I really love, this jazz funk group they have. And, so that's good. I've added 2 other guitarists, Alan Ghirardelli, and a wonderful young guy who I believe will be with me, named Kyrie. He was involved with Public Enemy briefly, so I'm definitely, ready to roll and geared up to get the band back out there and, properly kicking and stomping and rolling and loving and rocking. And of course, my drummer, Sandro Feliciano, who I believe I've told you about. If not, he will, of course, be with me, too. So we're ready to go bring the music alive and get out there.
Yeah, Living Galaxy Spring and Summer Tour 2011. Get those T-shirts ready.
Absolutely, 2011 touring for sure.
Right. So we also got to give props to Sean Carter. I know working real hard.
I definitely, absolutely have to give complete props to my incredible manager, Sean Carter. He is from Public Enemy himself, and he is just brilliant and the best. So, yes, we are rolling out an incredible path and ready to get it going.
All right, we'll always keep you posted on Starr Cullars and have her on later on this spring or summer. Living Galaxy, check it out. And we got one more to go. Take out our listeners with I See Freedom from Living Galaxy, and this is a great track.
Thank you. It's really fun live, too.
Now, how about live switching over to guitar? I know we see him a lot with P-Funk playing bass, but what's that like and the magic you guys have together on stage?
Well, it just works out fortunately enough that he has the ability to really play the guitar so well. He actually started playing guitar first before bass, and he and his cousin Michael, so that's pretty a fact that a lot of people don't know. So it just works out where that, I don't know, that kind of, those different people that you'll run into, they just have those musical chemistries, they just are able to. It's just one of those things. So that's a great gift for sure. And absolutely ready to get all of this material from the Living Galaxy out there and living it with the people.
All right. Thank you, Starr Cullars. You're always welcome to come on, and hope to see you live soon.
Thank you so much, Joe. Everybody, peace and have an awesome day.
All right. Thanks, Starr Cullars.